Welcome back, tech enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the age-old debate Mac OS versus Windows. This isn't just about specs and numbers, it's about your experience. It's about how you work, how you play, and how you interact with your tech. Whether you're a creative pro, a business user, a gamer, or just someone who uses their computer for everyday tasks, choosing the right operating system is crucial. We'll be breaking down the key differences between these two tech titans, exploring the strengths and weaknesses of each to help you make an informed decision. We're talking user interface, software compatibility, performance, security, and of course, price. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of which OS reigns supreme for your specific needs. Let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with the first thing you see when you boot up your computer: the user interface. Both Mac OS and Windows have their own distinct design languages, each with its own set of pros and cons. Mac OS is renowned for its clean, minimalist aesthetic. Everything just seems to flow seamlessly, from the sleek icons to the intuitive gestures. It's all about simplicity and ease of use, which can be a breath of fresh air if you're coming from a more cluttered environment. The dock, the menu bar, the way applications transition, it all feels very polished and refined. Windows, on the other hand, offers a more customizable experience. You've got widgets, live tiles, and endless customization options to tweak the look and feel to your liking. This level of flexibility can be really appealing if you like to personalize your digital workspace. You can move your taskbar, resize your icons, and even create multiple desktops for different tasks. Now, some people find the simplicity of Mac OS refreshing, while others might find it a bit too limiting. Conversely, Windows' flexibility can be a double-edged sword. While it allows for deep personalization, it can also feel a bit overwhelming at times, especially if you're not a power user. Personally, I appreciate the thoughtfulness behind Mac OS's design. It just feels like everything has a place, and it's designed to stay out of your way and let you focus on your work. But I totally get the appeal of Windows customization options, especially if you're someone who likes to tinker and make their setup truly their own. It's worth mentioning that both operating systems have evolved significantly over the years, borrowing design elements from each other. Windows has adopted a more refined look in recent iterations, while Mac OS has incorporated features like the Control Center for quick access to settings. Ultimately, the best UI is subjective and depends on your personal preferences. Do you value simplicity and elegance, or do you prefer flexibility and customization? Take some time to experiment with both interfaces and see which one resonates better with you. Don't be afraid to try out different launchers, themes, and customization options to really dial in the perfect setup. After all, you're going to be spending a lot of time interacting with your computer's interface, so it's worth making it a place you enjoy looking at and working with. Okay, let's talk software. This is a big one, as the apps you use on a daily basis will heavily influence your overall computing experience. Both Mac OS and Windows have their strengths and weaknesses in this department, so let's dive in. Mac OS has always been praised for its seamless integration with other Apple products. If you're deep in the Apple ecosystem using an iPhone, iPad, and maybe even an Apple Watch, then Mac OS just makes sense. The continuity features are incredibly convenient, allowing you to seamlessly switch between devices, answer calls on your Mac, or even copy and paste text from your iPad. However, when it comes to sheer software availability, Windows takes the crown. It's the dominant operating system in the PC market, which means developers are more likely to create Windows-compatible versions of their software. From productivity suites like Microsoft Office to creative tools like Adobe Creative Cloud, you'll find a wider range of software options available for Windows. That's not to say that Mac OS is lacking in software. In fact, it has a thriving ecosystem of its own, especially for creative professionals. Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, and a plethora of other industry-standard applications are exclusive to Mac OS. Plus, many popular cross-platform applications like Google Chrome, Spotify, and Slack are available on both operating systems. Gaming is another area where Windows has traditionally held an advantage. While Mac OS has made strides in recent years with its Metal Graphics API and support for services like Apple Arcade, Windows still boasts a significantly larger library of games, especially when it comes to AAA titles. The good news is that both operating systems have robust app stores, the Mac App Store and the Microsoft Store, where you can find a wide variety of applications, both free and paid. Plus, you can always download software directly from developers' websites if needed. Ultimately, the best operating system for software compatibility depends on your specific needs and the applications you rely on. If you're heavily invested in the Apple ecosystem and prioritize seamless integration, macOS is a no-brainer. However, if you need the widest possible range of software compatibility, especially for gaming or specialized applications, Windows might be the better choice. It's always a good idea to check the software requirements for the programs you use regularly before making a decision. Chapter 3: Performance and Hardware, the Need for Speed. Now let's talk about how these operating systems perform in the real world. This is where things get really interesting, as both macOS and Windows have different approaches to hardware optimization. Windows PCs offer a vast range of hardware options, from budget-friendly laptops to high-end gaming rigs. You can choose from a multitude of manufacturers, each offering different configurations and price points. This flexibility is great if you want to build your own custom PC or find a pre-built system that perfectly matches your needs and budget. macOS, on the other hand, is designed to run exclusively on Apple's hardware. This closed ecosystem allows Apple to tightly control the hardware and software integration, resulting in a highly optimized and efficient system. Macs are known for their smooth performance, even on relatively modest specs. Historically, macOS has been praised for its responsiveness and ability to handle demanding tasks like video editing and graphic design. Apple's in-house silicon, particularly the M1 and M2 chips, has further cemented their reputation for performance and efficiency. Windows, however, has stepped up its game in recent years. With improvements to its operating system and advancements in PC hardware, Windows machines are now capable of delivering impressive performance, even rivaling that of Macs in certain scenarios. Gaming is one area where Windows PCs still hold a significant advantage. The wide range of graphics card options and the ability to upgrade components make Windows the go-to platform for serious gamers. When it comes to hardware longevity, Macs tend to hold their value better over time. Apple's focus on build quality and software support means that Macs can last for years without significant slowdowns. However, this longevity comes at a price, as Macs are generally more expensive up front. The performance debate ultimately comes down to your specific needs and budget. If you prioritize raw power, customization, and a wider range of hardware options, Windows is the way to go. But if you value a seamless, optimized experience and are willing to pay a premium for Apple's hardware and software integration, macOS is an excellent choice. Chapter 4: Security Features Staying Safe in a Digital World. Alright, let's shift gears and talk about security. In today's digital landscape, protecting your data and privacy is more important than ever. Both macOS and Windows have implemented robust security features, but there are some key differences to consider. macOS has long been considered the more secure operating system, and for good reason. Its Unix-based architecture provides a strong foundation for security, and Apple has a strict approach to app permissions and software installations. The tightly controlled ecosystem makes it more difficult for malware to infiltrate the system. Windows, on the other hand, has historically been more vulnerable to security threats due to its larger user base and open nature. However, Microsoft has made significant strides in recent years with its Windows Defender antivirus software and other security enhancements. Windows 10 and 11 in particular have introduced features like Secure Boot and Windows Hello facial recognition to bolster security. One area where macOS excels is its built-in Gatekeeper feature. Gatekeeper acts as a first line of defense, preventing users from installing applications from unknown developers. This helps to mitigate the risk of downloading and installing malicious software. Windows, however, offers more granular control over security settings. Users can customize firewall rules, manage user accounts with varying levels of access, and even encrypt their entire hard drive for added protection. This level of customization can be beneficial for advanced users who want to fine-tune their security settings. It's important to note that no operating system is completely immune to security threats. Vigilance is key, regardless of which platform you choose. Always keep your operating system and software up to date, be cautious about the websites you visit and the links you click, and use strong, unique passwords for all your accounts. Ultimately, both Mac OS and Windows offer robust security features, and the safer option depends on your individual needs and usage habits. If you prioritize ease of use and a tightly controlled ecosystem, Mac OS might be the better choice. However, if you prefer granular control over security settings and are comfortable managing your own security measures, Windows provides the flexibility to do so. Remember, the most important security feature is you. Stay informed, be proactive, and practice safe computing habits. Chapter 5. Price and Value. Getting the most bang for your buck. And finally, let's talk about the elephant in the room: price. When it comes to cost, there's a clear distinction between Mac OS and Windows devices. Macs are known for their premium price tags. Apple's focus on design, build quality, and a tightly integrated ecosystem comes at a cost. Macs are generally more expensive than comparable Windows PCs in terms of raw specs. However, Macs also tend to hold their value better over time, so you might be able to resell them for a higher price down the road. Windows devices, on the other hand, offer a much wider range of price points. You can find budget-friendly Windows laptops for a few $100s, or you can shell out thousands for a high-end gaming rig. This flexibility is one of the main advantages of the Windows platform. You can find a device that fits your budget and needs, no matter what they are. But price isn't the only factor to consider. You also need to think about value for money. Macs might be more expensive up front, but they offer a premium experience that some users find well worth the investment. The build quality is generally excellent, the software is optimized for the hardware, and you get access to Apple's ecosystem of products and services. Plus, Macs tend to last longer than PCs, so you might not need to replace them as often. Windows devices, on the other hand, can offer more bang for your buck in terms of raw specs. You can often find a Windows laptop with a faster processor, more RAM, and a larger hard drive for the same price as a comparable MacBook. And with the ability to upgrade components, you can potentially extend the lifespan of a Windows PC even further. Ultimately, the best value for money depends on your individual needs, priorities, and budget. If you value a premium experience, a tightly integrated ecosystem, and longevity, Mac OS might be worth the premium price. However, if you're on a tighter budget, prioritize raw specs, or want the flexibility to upgrade components, Windows devices offer a wider range of options at more affordable price points. Chapter 6. The verdict: which OS reigns supreme? So, which operating system is the best fit for you? It all comes down to your personal needs and preferences. If you value simplicity, a seamless ecosystem, and a premium experience, Mac OS might be the way to go. But if you prefer flexibility, customization, a wider range of hardware and software options, and a more budget-friendly price, Windows could be the better choice. Let us know in the comments which one you prefer and why. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tech comparisons. Thanks for watching.